Everyone, actually I'm gonna have both 4th and 5th grade do a little bit of measuring here. You're gonna click on the link on the homework site for this story called Muddy Moves. You're gonna go ahead and read the story all the way. You can watch the video. It's very interesting. Kind of like those muddy runs. There is a question here. If you were to compete in a mini mudder, what would you do to complete the race as fast as possible? So go ahead and answer this question. And then you're going to use this chart right here to help you answer the next questions that will be coming up. So this is all about measuring and what units you use to measure certain things. So we've already talked about length in our geometry lessons. So length, you know, we use inches, foot, yards, miles, and measuring tools would be ruler, yardstick, odometer. For weight, we use ounce, pounds, and tons. You can measure weight with a scale or balance. Capacity, so for 5th grade, that's like volume, like how much can fit in something, like how much liquid is in this can that I'm drinking right now. So we use cup, pints, quarts, gallons. We usually use measuring cups or gallons and jugs, so like a gallon of milk or a cup of sugar or quarts, things like that. Temperature, you know, everybody knows the temperature. If it's cold or hot outside, we use that with degrees, Fahrenheit, or Celsius. Here's Trooper. He's hanging out with me. Oh, whoa, watch out. Trooper, watch out. All right, so there you have it. So you're going to need this important information to answer the questions. So make sure you read this in its entirety here. So if you read the questions, there is, it's probably going to just ask you questions on like what you'd use to measure something. Like, what would you use to measure milk? You would use gallons. What would you use to measure sugar? You can use like a cup and things like that. So go ahead and you can just write your answers down on a piece of paper, or you can send me a Google Doc, whatever you'd like. And there's only a couple questions here, so make sure you try to answer them as best as possible. And so that's just a mini lesson on measurements and units and what kind of tools we use to measure things. Like, for example, Trooper. What would we use to measure you, Trooper? Well, it depends. If we're going to measure his weight in pounds, we would use pounds to measure Trooper, and we would use a scale. We'd put him on top of the scale and measure him. How much do you think Trooper weighs? There you go. That's a bonus question there for extra credit, if you can guess how much Trooper weighs. And yes, he is sitting on top of the kitchen table with me. All right, that's it.